Calling of the roll. Councilmember Slavacek,
Yes.
Bruno,
Abstain.
Karczewski,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
And number 159 is the payment of bills.
The question that I had with this was the, I don't know if I can, this, the Belnick bill for the tables and chairs. There's a trust fund that was open for recreation that I have no idea where the money came from to go into the trust fund or when it was there.
It's been there for years.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know if that's a good enough answer for me.
I don't know, I believe that
Because
when we spoke about the trust fund, you know, we had the new rec center that was turned over to us, so we thought that and correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but when the current mayor spoke to you, she said that there was an amount of about $3,500 in this trust account, and that she would like it to be used for the tables and chairs.
Yes.
I don't know how, that's the first time I heard about the trust, and I don't know how long the money has been in there.
But then, okay, then my only question to that is, what gives her the right to just make the determination that that's where it goes? That's A, and B is, why is it not brought before us? I mean, I understand now the horses already had the horses out of the barn because they're already ordered and going to be delivered tomorrow or this week. But it still goes against
Cancel
What?
it. Cancel the order.
what we're supposed to be doing here. I mean, things are supposed to come before this board before they're just, you know, randomly ordered.
Matt, do you know anything about the trust? Joe, you knew nothing about it?
No, looking at the bill list was the first time I noticed it. And there's not even really a whole lot of attachments here.
Well, I mean, it gives you a
an
breakdown of
invoice.
what's there, but
It's an invoice.
it doesn't say, you know, there's no way to know what the monies are. I understand we need that for the center, but what happens if we want to use it for something else recreation-wise?
I guess at this point, the only thing we can do is send those tables and chairs back, because we ordered them, so we're gonna be responsible for paying
Coming
the bill.
tomorrow.
We've accepted the shipment already?
Send it
No,
tomorrow.
it's coming
The
tomorrow.
truck, but it would have been here today, but the truck broke down.
Let it be her contribution.
And the other bill was the bill that Yvette had sent an email about. I'm in agreement with her, I just don't understand how a door is that much money.
Not only that, an estimate, only one estimate, not three estimates, and we're just going ahead, write the check and call
Was
it a
that
day.
door replaced already, Matt?
Yeah,
I think that door was, that was the one.
last year. Yeah, I made 3. Is that the JIP invoice that I had a question about? Okay.
So why is that coming before council a year later?
We just got the invoice. The insurance company paid it, right? JIP paid it, and now they're saying that you hadn't met your deductible.
Yeah.
And that was a door that was repaired at a homeowner's house or being knocked down.
Yes, an officer broke it.
Why wasn't there more than one estimate? It could have been your friend, hey, you know,
I mean, I think if I had to guess, I'd say we submitted it to JIP.
what's that?
I wasn't in charge at the time, I don't know.
If I had to guess, I'd say we submitted it to JIP. Maybe we submitted it to JIP and JIP somehow approved it as reasonable.
Well, you have to submit it to JIP, that's the policy.
And this payment is the deductible or the town share of that bill that was a JIF bill?
Yeah, it's less than the deductible for whatever the
So we pay the
event
difference.
was. Well, we paid the whole thing because the deductible was much higher.
Got it.
So those are the two.
I can give you all the paperwork if you always want. I got it from there.
That's the door?
Yep, to the door.
You send that over? Just, I would just take a
I
look.
think it was probably just the paperwork that I sent everybody. Or is there additional paperwork?
No, it's the same thing we want to be extra.
Do we have a choice on that bill?
I mean, I think the installation's already done. I mean, the time to shop it around was probably when we were installing
A
it.
year ago.
Yeah. And I think we probably, I mean,
This is the
rightfully or
first I'm
wrongfully.
hearing it.
Yeah, first, yeah, I agree. Rightfully or wrongly, we submitted the JIF and said, you know, we're washing our hands of it, and they said, sure, the homeowner submitted a bill, it was reasonable, we paid it, and oh, by the way, you hadn't met your deductible. So if we wanted to be a little more, I think, if we wanted to be a little bit more involved in that process, we would have had to have said, let us go out and get 3 quotes, you know, before we submitted the JIF. That's just my opinion.
I think that has to be a best practice moving forward.
I think there's a lot of best practices that have to be instituted going forward. I mean, the door, I don't think we have much, like you said, it's how long we've at this point.
So can we approve the bill list pending, you know, without approving
Yeah, this is like almost a year and a half ago.
the bill for the tables and chairs?
I mean, I would say a couple things. There's a couple of signatures that still need to get on. Some of it's administrative, none of it, so there's a couple of items that going through the bills that need some tidying up. So I would say we approve them all pending the resolution of those items.
What do we do with this?
I mean, I don't know how the money got into the trust
Can
fund.
we have a conversation with Jerry? Maybe
They're
you-
gonna be here tomorrow, they're up here from Georgia.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I
Yeah,
think
they're
that if we
coming to
accept them, they're probably gonna be ours.
And
But
I-
you don't accept
that's why
them,
if you don't
probably
accept
sort
it,
of
they're
pay.
gonna charge you a shipping fee or something.
Well, I mean, I guess what I would say is, we don't have a receiving slip, we have an invoice, how could we be expected to pay something we haven't received yet? So I say we pull it and we say we're not paying it until we at least receive the goods and say that they're conforming and, you know, meet spec and, And I
Put it
guess-
on the next meeting.
That sounds fair, and then in the meantime, we could look into the,
we do have a sales order and a customer PO, but nobody signed the PO as saying, I've initiated this purchase, so there should be a requisition from a, you know, from a procedural standpoint that we actually requisitioned this stuff. I don't know who requisitioned it, it's certainly not attached here, so.
Well, all the paperwork was given to her, I don't know what she did with it.
okay. So let's, pending approval minus that bill, and then we could look into that. Does that sound fair?
Well, who wants to meet the truck tomorrow to check everything out then?
I think Darren.
Darren's on
Darren.
vacation.
Matt?
Okay, Matt.
I mean, we can probably call them tonight
I was just gonna say that.
and say, hey, listen, you know, we don't have all our, well, I'm not even sure what we would say.
They're
Somebody
probably-
initiated this order, I guess we're gonna look pretty foolish if we say.
I initiated because I was told to get the chairs and the tables because we need it for the shelter, for occupancy and shelter for the center.
So is there a requisition?
I had a whole bunch of paperwork, I don't know what she did with it, I can't speak for her.
Okay.
But I
I
have
mean, if we get that, I
Yeah.
guess, and we need it, we all agree that we need it, then we attach the
Because we
paperwork.
got a few free things with it, you know, I did research,
Right.
like with the dollies and for the chairs and the tables
I
and.
don't think the blame to be placed on you. You know, you're doing what you're told.
Yeah, the dollies was great. The dollies and, oh, 2 separate.
Yeah, one for the tables, one for the chairs.
So we got enough dollars for 60 tables? Oh, 60 each round, 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 for the 10 tables, which we
60
ordered
tables.
You could fit 60 tables in there easily. You probably could.
I mean, are they expecting payment when they deliver?
within 30 days.
Within 30 days?
Mm.
So we got 30 days to get our paperwork in order. I mean, if we're
Plus
not,
to
if we're
look
making
at
the decision tonight,
Plus
then
to look at it and make sure that it's not damaged and shipment and it's all
Right.
good stuff.
Agreed, agreed.
So then,
So
this-
pull that one
pull
off the
back.
bill list and
But are
then
you comfortable with Matt accepting the delivery tomorrow?
Well, I think all the chairs have to be inspected and all to make sure that the vinyl wasn't ripped or in shipment at all anyway.
And maybe Matt, you can take one of the public works.
They'll be over there tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we need the chairs, right? I mean, we need the tables, we need the chairs. I mean, is it something we need? If it's something we need, then let's
Yeah, we
just
had
make
to
it.
rent them for the events this weekend because the fire department was gracious to let us borrow them, but they had 2 events, so they needed their tables and chairs.
Yeah.
And if we plan to utilize the community center, then we're gonna need furniture.
Got it.
So the proposal is to approve the bill list, delete the tables and chairs, put that on a different meeting once you've gotten the paperwork together and once you've inspected them, make sure they're all okay, and approve the bill list with that one amendment, I think. Correct?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I agree.
Okay, need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Slavacek,
Yes.
Bruno,
Abstain.
Krasowski,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
Next is approval of minutes.
They all can be voted at one time because everyone was present for all these minutes.
So we need a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Councilmember Slavacek,
Yes.
Bruno,
Abstain.
Krasowski,
Yes.
Perez.
Yes.
And Dave, this brings up, I know that you said the mayor was excused from the meeting tonight, but this is the third meeting that she's missed in a row. So being that my feet were held to the fire in past years because of work obligations, and I was not afforded any kind of leniency for that. And even though there's only 2 weeks left in the year, the rules are the rules.
Well, the rule is if there is an unexcused absence. She was available and
Mhm.
actually wrote an email objecting to the meeting getting moved to tonight, and it was moved over her objection.
Yeah, but when I made objections in the past, I was kind of basically told to stop it, and we moved on. So,
And you weren't ultimately removed, right?
well, I wasn't ultimately removed because I didn't miss 3 meetings in a row. But every single time something came up, I was told that,
I think when we looked at it, it wasn't 3 meetings in a row.
no, it was something
A
like
certain
60 days.
Right, it was a certain number of days, starting from the first one that you miss, and then calculating from there forward, if you recall, because we looked at it once before for another council person. But again, it says unexcused. I mean, the woman is leaving office in 2 weeks. She was ready and willing allegedly to come to the meeting tomorrow, and she objected when it got moved to tonight.
No, she's
Let's have
allegedly
another
willing
meeting
to
tomorrow.
try to have a special meeting on Monday.
And she's willing to have another special meeting on Monday, which...
To her convenience.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You know, but when you serve a town for 12 years, walk with your head high. Pay
Unless you
respect
did
to the
wrong.
residents in the town. Come to meetings. And that's a personal opinion of mine.
How about many? How many meetings has he missed in a row?
3.
6.
You know,
Only
again,
6?
for the record, I would have loved
Only
for
this
the
year alone,
transition to
probably
be
at least
smoother. You know, this is
8.
a municipality where we take an oath of office to serve the borough residents, and there's nothing more than I would have wanted to work professionally with Nancy to transition for the borough of Helmetta. There's open-ended things that need to be discussed, and it's just been a difficult task for me. I'm ready for the challenge. I'll take the bull by the horn and give 150%, but it's just, it's been a little disappointing to me.
And I'm saying that because in the past, when that did happen to me, Dave, it was, I mean, I don't know, do we know Sandy? Was she not at September, October, and November?
Let me see if I tell you real quick.
She was before, right?
October, November, and December.
That's
So September 16th, October, November, was 30, so over 60 days.
I know it's a point in case for you. I respect that.
Because,
I understand your concern, but I'm not...
no, but I mean, nobody understands how this woman made my
No,
life
she was here at
hell.
September's meeting.
Can you lock her
I
out of
worked
her
nights,
box?
and I couldn't come to meetings because of work obligations. And Sue, you know it, because you and I had a fight about it. It got to a point where, you know, it was every meeting, if something came up, make the meetings. And so,
She was here for September.
And I did request the meeting to be changed tonight, I did. The reason being is that, I had a work commitment tomorrow that I couldn't attest to, and I thought that I had the right to ask because I've never missed a meeting.
Everybody has a right to ask.
If it's something that, again, I would
What
ask-
is the municipal law, Dave?
Well, the one key part is if there is an unexcused absence, and I again would say, if she was ready and willing to attend the regularly scheduled meeting, and it got moved over her objection to a night when she said she wasn't available, and as opposed to a night that she said she was available, then I don't think it's an unexcused absence. I mean, the meeting was scheduled on a date that she was not available, and she said she was available other nights the same week if you wanted to do it some other night. This was the night that was selected by, I guess, the majority of whoever's here.
Well, I don't know if it was, I think it was just I said, I'll make any night. I said, want to make it Tuesday, and I don't think we had any objections to Tuesday. As opposed to any other night.
Yeah, the proposal was any other night during the week.
I remember the proposal, but I also remember an email from the mayor saying she was not available that night, and it was scheduled anyway.
Well, I want it for the reason of what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So, she's tried to give it to me for years. She rejected it. That's just my opinion, so. If you're telling us from a legal perspective that we don't have the legal right to do it, Dave, then
Well,
I guess
again,
that's why you're here.
the words are unexcused absence, and I would again say that if the meeting was scheduled and she was available and it got moved to a night she was not available, I don't think that's an unexcused absence. She was saying she was available the night it was scheduled.
Other meetings
It was
were-
moved, because other people wanted to move it, and that was fine, they're allowed to do that, that's perfectly fine. But it was moved to a night that she was not available, so I can't say, I can't say that she has an unexcused absence. And again, in 2 weeks, her term is gonna be over and she's gonna not be here anyway. Just as in 2 weeks, Councilman Asio, his term will be over too.
Awesome. Food or locker out over
anybody.
The only way we could say it's an unexcused absence is if she said no to Wednesday's meeting, the original meeting. I don't know if everybody said yes to that meeting and then said, yeah, we're gonna say yes to Tuesday's meeting.
What the municipal vacancy law says is 8 consecutive weeks without being excused. And I know that we had researched the issue and reported to the council before when there was a question about another person, and you start counting from the first meeting you miss, not from the last one you went to, because we had that issue, I think, once before. So if the first meeting she missed was October, what was it? October